back to That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.
Welcome back. It's That Kevin Show from Times Square. Kevin McCullough, always glad to have you with us. And we're approaching the 30-day mark on the election and what's happening. And I'm telling you, the stakes can't be higher. You want to see a difference in worldview, just look at the response to Hurricane Helene. Almost within a day of it sweeping through, Donald Trump was there, bringing truckloads of help as much as he could. And by the way, he used to do this as a private citizen. It's not something he just does when he's running for office. But besides showing up to announce her $750 coupon for everybody, Kamala Harris hasn't been there at all. And Joe Biden's taking his time getting down there. Anyway, Christine Serrano Glasner is the former candidate for the Republican nomination for U.S. Senate in New Jersey, and she's a current mayor in New Jersey. So she's got a lot of experience with this type of thing. And Christine, let's dip into that for just a second. When you're talking about an immediate need, an emergency in which government action or inaction can literally cost lives, as a mayor, you've seen, major problems, and you've had to respond quickly. How important is it for the feds to be responsive when a local mayor or county commissioner or governor is begging for help?
Kevin, and first of all, I want to remind you, I'm also the Trump surrogate for New Jersey.
That's right.
So I cover a lot of turf. As a mayor of a municipality, I can tell you that the umbrella for us is the state and the federal government. And for a big emergency that just happened, Hurricane Helene, the umbrella for those small towns is FEMA. And we know what happened there because you already mentioned this. FEMA's accounts were drained by the Harris administration for, all of their illegal alien programs. And so now there's nothing left for the tax-paying citizens of this country when they are in dire need. But you also mentioned what Donald Trump has been doing. We started a GoFundMe account, and just in a couple of days, they've been able to raise $5 million. I mean, that is a drop in the bucket compared to what these folks are going to need. But at least it's something, and somebody is doing more than Kamala Harris is doing right now with her $750, as you said, coupon. Well, that's just nothing. I mean, that's two trips to the grocery store for a lot of people.
Yeah. And how do they even spend it? What I'm hearing from sources in Washington is that the administration is slow walking all of the help, particularly to the rural areas. And there's speculation that this is being done because these are primarily Republican areas. And if they are focused on the emergency, maybe they won't vote. That's the speculation. I don't have any evidence of any of this, but it would make sense to me given how kind of underhanded the other side is played from time to time. But if you're talking about $750, that doesn't keep your lights on. It doesn't keep your water going. They need help. They need, Army Corps of Engineers down there reestablishing water lines and getting electricity going and making sure that food companies are donating massive amounts of emergency meals. I was reading a story just yesterday that said there are whole towns in Western North Carolina that have gone up to 6 days without having any food to eat. Christine, that doesn't sound like America. That sounds like the third world or something.
Well, I know if you go to any city in this country right now where they have shipped tons of illegal aliens that they've let in across the border, they have meals to eat. They have places to stay. And these are folks that haven't even been here that long. And now you're talking about Native American-born U.S. citizens that have paid their taxes.
Yeah.
And this administration, the Kamala Harris administration, is doing little to nothing for them. So I don't know anything about the potential rumors, but we all know it just wouldn't be that surprising if they were to inject politics into all of this because of their desperation. And this is just another example of what they have done to the people in this country. They put power over blood. They've done it consistently, and they're doing it now. I mean, how do these poor people even mourn the folks that they've lost when they have nothing to eat, when there is no electricity? But I can tell you, Donald Trump, he's been in there with his team. I was just listening before Laura Trump herself has been down there helping. It makes me
Yeah.
want to jump in my car and get down there and, bring a
No,
truck full of water.
The whole Trump family rolled up its sleeves. Eric Trump posted about it last night, but that's what they've done. Like, I want people to understand this isn't just happening because it's an election and someone's trying to get a good photo op. When Puerto Rico had its challenges, Donald Trump showed up. He got made fun of for how he threw the paper towels off the truck to the people that were needing them, but he did it. He's shown up in the day after 9/11, he was on the rubble, asking what he could do and seeing what he could send to help people. So long before he was ever in public policy or trying to run for office, this was just something that Donald Trump did because he wants to help his fellow Americans. And that brings me to my next question, Christine. And let's look at the race in your state specifically. You're the surrogate for the Trump campaign for the state of New Jersey, and you ran in the Republican primary. And you're familiar, you've been out on the campaign trail talking to voters for months about what they are dealing with. There are two stories out today, one about Detroit, one about Philadelphia, that are using language that Trump is not just doing better than expected in those two deeply Democratic cities, but that he has a real potential to win those cities. If he takes Detroit, Michigan, if he takes Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the rest of we already know the rest of the state's mostly going to vote for him. Those are going to be massive landslides in swing states. New Jersey was already, as best as I could tell, it was already kind of trending pro-Trump in the primary, and I know that there was a big effort to make sure that ballot access is going to be available, but that the ballot process is going to be more integral. And I know that there's more poll watchers than there's been. How are you assessing what the presidential race looks like in New Jersey right now?
No, I think as anybody does, because, here in New Jersey, we don't have our own media market. And so we don't get that kind of coverage that would tell us exactly how we're doing. But I can tell you from the folks that I speak to, and I am out all over the place, people are energized. And the one word that I use with everybody is action. Take action. And so people are making phone calls. They are sending texts. There's all sorts of programs. And now I'm helping people to connect with Pennsylvania and the representatives there for the Trump campaign, because they want to go there and be boots on the ground and help win Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
we would love to win New Jersey.
Is so close to Philadelphia, any extra help that South Jersey could give them, I'm sure would be welcomed. So if people want to, from a pragmatic way, reach out to you and say, hey, how can I help? Or I want to make sure that my block gets canvassed. I want to make sure I get people out to the polls. Where are you pointing them to in terms of online to go and get involved?
So number one, they need to go to Trump Force 47. Just Google that. And they can sign up there to start making phone calls. They can sign up to volunteer. If somebody really is not able to get anybody, email me, Christine@Christine4NJ.com. I don't care how many emails I get, but I will help you make sure that you can take action.
Stick around for more of That Kevin. Next, That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.